today we are trying to do some things to really move forward our local filmmaking community. That's the real goal, so maybe we can come out with some real outcomes for the day. Whatever those might be, an exploration. And so that's what we're going to do, explore. So why don't we just go around and see who's at the table.
My name is Anthony Sweeney. I work with Ben at Fanlight Productions.
And digital is something our customers are hounding us about. We have no answers, so keep coming to meetings like this, trying to plug away at. We're in a wait and see kind of mode. So
I'm Denise Steele from GBH, and I run a local production unit called Boston Media Productions, as well as the GBH Lab. We spend a lot of time thinking about how to get content every place.
I'm Cynthia Close. I'm the Executive Director at Documentary Educational Resources, Film and Video Production Distribution. Been in business for over 40 years in Boston. We dived wholeheartedly into the whole digital tech revolution, not knowing what we were doing. Had a great experience with distribution via Google Video 2 years ago. Now our newest thing that we're really excited about is our iTunes University site, which was launched a couple weeks ago. And we see that as a way to repurpose a lot of our free material that we were giving away free in any case. And we also see it as a site to serve the needs of our filmmakers, those that we're supporting through physical sponsorships and production. So I can talk to you a little bit more about how that's going. iTunes is very excited about us. They invited us to launch this site, and they're going to feature us next week. So we're really excited about it.
Okay. I'm Bonnie Walsh. I'm the Executive Director of Filmmakers Collaborative, and we're a support organization and fiscal sponsor for independent filmmakers, many of whom are still pretty old school in terms of production and distribution, but who are very eager to learn about new ways to use the internet. So I'm always looking for ways to get information that I can impart to them.
My name is David Temez. I'm a documentary filmmaker, although I don't necessarily want to be pigeonholed in that particular genre. But I make a variety of films. I'm also a new media kind of person as well, always looking at the intersection of the old ways and the new ways. I'm also on the board of Filmmakers Collaborative. I'm a DER filmmaker. I've been in the Boston community since like '93, back in the BFVF days, and have seen a lot of wonderful changes, and I hope to see more. And I'd love to see more, kind of distribution-oriented and audience connection-oriented sort of capabilities being developed here, homegrown. It's kind of disturbing that big people like Amazon.com are kind of moving into the space and are going to sort of commodify that whole thing, I believe.
I'm Chris Renzi. I'm from netfilm.com. Basically, we're an independent filmmaker and screenwriter website that it's more like a community-based site, and we do a lot of different contests and things like that for both filmmakers and screenwriters. We often get asked about online distribution, and so we give advice when we can, so it's interesting to see a discussion like this and hopefully get some good ideas out of it.
I'm Scott Kersner. I run a blog called Cinematech and also contribute to Variety and write a column in the Boston Globe. I'm kind of been focused a lot on digital distribution for the last couple years, and am just finished writing a book called Inventing the Movies that's kind of a technological history of the movie industry, kind of ending with stuff like YouTube and iTunes and kind of where we are now. And the book that I'm working on now is kind of about how do you build audience in this new era, where your distributor, your studio doesn't necessarily do it for you. And also just finished a project for ITVS, kind of looking at 8 or 9 filmmakers and sort of how they've been thinking about distribution and marketing, and also kind of making the filmmaking process more participatory, so kind of bringing in the audience while you're making the movie rather than just telling them about it once it's finished and saying, hey, come watch this thing that I made. And so that was fun, and we'll see where that leads.
I'm Sean Fitzroy. I'm on the faculty of the New England Institute of Art, where I teach in the interactive department. I teach digital video for the internet, social media, web distribution, that kind of stuff. I worked at Brightco for a while, helping content owners figure out their online strategy to distribute media online, and I'm also a local filmmaker and spending a lot of time writing right now.
My name is Susie Walsh. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Independent Documentary, and I work with independent filmmakers, largely in more traditional, like Bonnie was saying, people are really using longer format, more traditional ways of getting their work out there, but are exploring new ways to repurpose media that was already done, as well as distributing media in new ways. So an example of what I'm talking about would be, we have one film that was done quite a few years ago, which was about, called Murder at Harvard, which was about a murder that took place in Cambridge around the turn of the century, the prior century. And that is going to be turned into a mobile media project, which will be on handheld devices or cell phones, and we'll be using the video itself to make it into a murder mystery game that people can play while walking through the streets of Cambridge. So, you know, we're looking at different ways of taking media that already exists and repurposing it and using it in different ways, as well as, you know, other kinds of distribution.
Yes, I'm Lyda Kuth from the Left Foundation, and we fund independent producers. And Susie was around in the summertime when we announced that we announced the changes that were made at the Left Foundation. We've been actually funding the arts, contemporary arts here since the 1990s, and so we're actually, it's kind of an auspicious day to be here because Catherine Ostermeyer in my office, my program officer, is now sending an announcement, an e-blast out with the new revised guidelines. So I do have some copies of those, especially for people that's very relevant too. But I'm kind of excited, and I'm here really to understand how what we do fits into the big picture and how we can be the best partner in what's happening. So there's a lot to learn. Thanks, Mike.
And do you want to do it this way? You get a better shot than I will.
And my name is Mike Bose. I'm the co-director of Central Productions, which is an additional nonprofit film production support group. We're really focused on both narrative and experimental emerging filmmakers, giving them fiscal sponsorship, giving them mentorship, helping them with momentum getting their projects done, trying to do it independently. So, and beyond that, I'm a freelance production professional, do production management, production coordination, producing, that sort of stuff.
My name is Peggy Nelson. I'm a user experience designer and a filmmaker. So in my former incarnation, I do the website for Central Productions and Boston Cinema Census, and that's also my day job somewhere else. In my latter incarnation, my most recent film was an iGoogle dynamic theme. So I did that with XML, Second Life, and the Google API. And before that, I did this summer a walking tour of virtual reality in Boston with cell phones and 2D barcodes. So I also do more traditional kinds of narrative, but I'm kind of moving away from those as different kinds of new media come up. I'm also a judge for media and entertainment for the Webby Awards, specifically film.